Greed can be a powerful ally.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we will be continuing our AI fan fiction series, so sit back and relax as the AI continues to create very interesting stories for us. Today's AI fan fiction will be what if Luke was a magnificent and triumphant hero in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. It starts like this. The galaxy was in turmoil as the remnants of the Empire, now known as the First Order, rose to the power under the leadership of the Supreme Leader Snoke. The Resistance, led by General Leia Organa, fought tirelessly to stop their tyrannical reign, but they were vastly outnumbered and outgunned. Meanwhile, Luke Skywalker had been in self-imposed exile on the planet Ahch-To, where he had been studying the ways of the Jedi and trying to rebuild the ancient order. He was visited by Rey, a young scavenger who had been drawn into the conflict, and she pleaded with him to help the Resistance. At first, Luke was hesitant, still haunted by the failure of his nephew, Kylo Ren, and the destruction of his Jedi Academy. But as Rey continued to press him, he realized that the fate of the galaxy was at stake, and he could not stand idly by. "I'll go," Luke said, "but this is your fight, not mine." "It is the fight of everyone who cares about freedom and justice. We need you, Luke." So Luke returned to the galaxy, and he was a changed man. He had gained a deeper understanding of the Force and the Jedi way, and he was ready to take on the First Order. He joined the Resistance and quickly proved to be a valuable asset, using his knowledge and skills to outsmart and outmaneuver the enemy. In the final battle, Luke faced off against Snoke and his apprentice Kylo Ren. The fight was fierce, with the three of them wielding their lightsabers and using the Force to throw blaster bolts and debris at each other. But in the end, Luke emerged victorious, having redeemed his nephew and saved the galaxy from the clutches of the First Order. The people of the galaxy rejoiced and hailed Luke as a hero. He had brought balance to the Force and restored hope to a galaxy that had been in darkness for far too long. As he looked up to the stars, he knew that the Jedi Order would continue to thrive as long as there were those who were willing to fight for what was right. With the defeat of the First Order and the redemption of Kylo Ren, the galaxy was at peace once more. Luke Skywalker, now a true Jedi Master, took on a new role as a mentor and a teacher, passing on his knowledge and skills to the next generation of Jedi. One of his students was Rey, who had grown into a powerful and confident Jedi under Luke's guidance. Together, they traveled to different planets, seeking out Force-sensitive individuals and training them in the ways of the Jedi. As they journeyed, they encountered many challenges and obstacles, but Luke and Rey always worked together to overcome them. They formed a deep bond, not just as master and student, but as friends and partners. One day, they received a distress signal from a remote planet in the Outer Rim. Upon arriving, they had found a group of villagers being terrorized by a band of ruthless pirates. The pirates had taken hostages and were demanding a huge ransom in exchange for their release. Luke and Rey knew that they had to act fast to save the hostages and stop the pirates. They devised a plan and set out to infiltrate the pirates' stronghold. Once inside, they used the Force to sneak past the guards and locate the hostages. They then engaged in a fierce battle with the pirates, using their lightsabers and Force abilities to defeat them. In the end, they were able to rescue the hostages and bring the pirates to justice. The villagers were overjoyed and thanked Luke and Rey for their bravery. As they prepared to leave the planet, Rey returned to Luke and said, "I never could have done this without you. Thank you for everything." Luke smiled and replied, "You're welcome, Rey. You're a true Jedi now, and I'm proud of you. Remember, the Force will always be with you." And with that, they set off into the stars, ready for whatever new adventures and challenges the galaxy had in store for them. As time passed, Rey and Luke's reputation as powerful and respected Jedi grew. They continued to travel the galaxy, training new Jedi and helping those in need. They also worked closely with the new government that was established after the fall of the First Order, ensuring that peace and justice were maintained throughout the galaxy. But their peaceful existence was not meant to last. A new threat had emerged, one that has been even more dangerous than the First Order. This new enemy, known as the Sith Eternal, had been secretly building its power for decades, waiting for the right moment to strike. They were led by a mysterious figure known only as the Emperor, who had somehow returned from the dead. The Sith Eternal launched a surprise attack on the new government, and the Jedi were caught off guard. Many were killed or captured, and the rest were forced to flee for their lives. Rey and Luke knew that they had to act fast to stop the Sith and save the galaxy from their tyranny. They gathered a small group of surviving Jedi and set out to find a way to defeat the Emperor and the Sith Eternal. They knew that it would not be easy, but they were determined to succeed. As they traveled from planet to planet, they encountered many obstacles and challenges. They had to fight off Sith assassins and battle droids, and they had to evade capture by the Emperor's forces. But through it all, they remained united and focused on their goal. Finally, they had arrived at the Sith Eternal's stronghold on Exegol, a massive and heavily fortified planet. They knew that this battle would be their final showdown, and they prepared themselves for the ultimate battle. As they entered the stronghold, they were met by an army of Sith troopers and darkside adepts. The battle was fierce and intense, but Rey and Luke fought with all of their might, using the Force to take down their enemies. In the end, they reached the throne room of the Emperor, where they found him sitting on his throne, waiting for them. The Emperor taunted them, saying that they could not defeat him and that he was more powerful than ever. But Rey and Luke were not intimidated. They knew that they had the strength of the Force on their side, and they launched a final attack on the Emperor. The fight was intense, with the Emperor using his dark side powers to try and defeat them. But in the end, Rey and Luke emerged victorious. They had defeated the Emperor and the Sith Eternal, and they had saved the galaxy from certain destruction. The galaxy was once again at peace, and Rey and Luke were hailed as heroes. They had restored balance to the Force and brought hope to a galaxy that had been in darkness for far too long. As they looked up to the stars, they knew the Jedi Order would continue to thrive as long as willing to fight for what is right. And that is another end to a very interesting fan fiction created by AI. Once again, thank you guys for watching. As always, please be making sure to like and subscribe. And also comment down below on what you thought of the events that transpired in this fan fiction. Thanks again for watching, and as always,